Hey guys, what's up? This is Dr. In, and today I want to have a discussion video about the Subdrop in World of Warcraft, because like you can see on screen, we're down to 5.6 million subscribers, and that's a huge gap. So let's dive into it, shall we? Okay, so, at the start at Warlords of Draenor at launch, we had 10 million subscribers, and we dropped down to 5.6 million subscribers right now. That means we almost lost 50% of our player base. And the last time we were on 5 million subscribers, 5.6, was in 2006, just when the game was barely 1 year old. So that's huge, okay? This is not like, okay, we lost some subs. They will be back with the next expansion. Don't worry about it. This is a huge gap. This is a huge loss, and it's really it's only Blizzard's fault. It's really down to the game. It's down to what Warlords of Draenor is right now. So let's face facts. The problem is with not enough content, and I'm gonna slap you guys around with some numbers just because I am that guy, and I just want to have some proof to back my story up. Let's talk. Vanilla WoW ended at 7 million subscribers, and we had 20 dungeons, 5 raids. Okay, that was vanilla. In the Burning Crusade, we had 11 million subscribers, 16 dungeons, 8 raids. Wrath of the Lich King, 12 million subscribers at peak, 16 dungeons, 8 raids. All that is good. Look at the content. When World of Warcraft was starting, 20 dungeons, 5 raids. Not that many raids, still good. Still a shitload of dungeons, a shitload of stuff to do. Burning Crusade, 16 dungeons, yes, 4 dungeons less than vanilla, but 8 raids, 3 raids more, plus 3 world bosses. Wrath of the Lich King, 12 million subscribers, 16 dungeons again, same like Burning Crusade, 8 raids, also the same as Burning Crusade, and also grow in subscribers. Since vanilla WoW, it was all up. Then after Wrath of the Lich King, something went wrong. In Cataclysm, we dropped down to 9.1 million subscribers. We had still 14 dungeons, which was still a lot of dungeons. Was 2 less than the Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King, but only 5 raids. That wasn't much, to be honest. But for the first, well, ICC was the first raid we had in normal and heroic mode, but all the 5 raids had normal and heroic mode. But also Dragon Soul was introduced and gave us the last, what's it called, Dragon Soul was also there in LFR, which was the biggest mistake ever to get LFR into the game. Then in Mist of Pandaria, we hit it around 6.3 million at the lowest point, and we ended with 7.7 million subscribers, 9 dungeons, the lowest amount of dungeons ever, and only 5 raids again. And now we're down to, in Warlords of Draenor, to 5.6 million subscribers, down to 8 dungeons and 3 raids. It's a new low for Blizzard. So, what the hell is going on at Blizzard HQ? Because Blizz, only 8 dungeons and only 3 raids is not enough to keep your player base interest into the game. One big thing, one big problem is also the PvP side, because it's completely unbalanced. I mean, come on, everybody knows it's shit, okay? So that is a big problem, but it's also a big thing of content, because when I was raiding with my guilds in the past, and when we were not raiding, we were like, what we're going to do? Let's do some PvP. We didn't do it for the ratings. I did arenas, I did battlegrounds, but not to be really good at them, just to kill some time, just to have some fun with the same guildies I raided with. I knew these guys for some for months, some for years. We knew each other very well. We were, because of raiding, we knew each other. We were also well played in each other. We knew each other's skill, and we would hang out on the TeamSpeak of the guild and just do some arenas and do battlegrounds and do all the kind of stuff just for the fun, because it was just fun to do that with friends and guildies. And we had a good time. Right now, it's so unbalanced that people are like, I'm not diving into that. Nope, I'm not going. No fucking way I'm going into that PvP. So that's a problem by itself. And PvP is so imbalanced. If you're raiding right now, you're probably gonna have a good time, because let's face fact, Heimel, Blackrock Foundry, and Hellfire Citadel are great raids. But it's only 3, and you gave us 4 difficulties. LFR, Normal, Heroic, and Mythic. And LFR is not really a difficulty, sorry. But still, 5 raids in Mystic Pandaria, 5 in Cataclysm, but 8 in Wrath of the Lich King, 8 in the Burning Crusade. That's how it should be. Blizz. World of Warcraft has always been about the journey. It was always the journey to get to max level, at least until Wrath of the Lich King, because in Cataclysm we got all the heirloom gear and all that kind of shit. But until Wrath of the Lich King, it was always that to get to max level was a journey. And then you would go into those dungeons to gear up for raiding. And then you would go into raid number 1 to gear up, to go to raid number 2 to get new gear. But you really needed that gear to go into raid number 3. Blizzard, even the most diehard players I know and are still raiding right now are like, I still like raiding, but I'm doing the same raid over and over again. I'm in the same environment every time. Yes, the difficulty changes. Yes, Heroic is harder than normal, and Mythic is really, really hard because I'm not saying raiding is easy. Hell no it is. I know that Mythic is really, really hard. But it's still those raiders. I'm talking to those raiders, and those guys are saying, yeah, but I'm still in the same environment, dealing with the same trash, and with the same bosses I've already killed 2 times, and now I'm doing them on Mythic. Yes, it's harder, but it's the same boss. I'm in the same, exact same instance. The good thing about Wrath of the Lich King and the good thing about Burning Crusade and Vanilla is that you were going from raid to raid to raid, but you also changed environment. You also changed the mobs you would fight. You would also fight completely different bosses, not doing the same bosses because Normal and Heroic is the same boss. Shit just hits harder, and only with Mythic you get new mechanics. And with the old system in Wrath of the Lich King and Burning Crusade, it was not the same boss over and over again. It was the next raid with different instance, different environment, different trash, different bosses with completely different mechanics, different looks, and that matters. It always keeps the journey going, and always is like, okay, I've done multi-core, and now I'm going to Blackwing Lair, and then I'm going to Anchorage and all that kind of shit. And Burning Crusade was the same. Going to Karazhan, then we're going to Gruul, then we're going to Magteridon, then we're going to Seven-Sided Caverns, then we're going to Tempest Keep, then we're going to Mount Yal, then to Black Temple, and then to Samuel Plateau. It's a change of environment, and that's really, really, really important. To keep it fresh, to keep it new, to keep it exciting. That is what a game needs, Blizzard. And 8 dungeons? Fuck off. Every expansion should have 14. Now I want to go really quick over to the Blizzard saying, yeah, but if we make new dungeons, then the old ones will be obsolete. No, it isn't. You made Mythic dungeons. The Heroic dungeons are still viable. Because if you just get to level 100 with an alt, you still need to do the old Heroic dungeons before you can get into the Mythic dungeons. Hell, you even need to do LFR or normal raids before you can go into the Mythic dungeons, because otherwise nobody takes you. Still is viable. It's the same with if you bring out new dungeons. If you got us 3 new dungeons with 6.1, we still had to do the Heroic dungeons, the old Heroic dungeons when we were level 100 to get into the new 3 Heroic dungeons. It's the same thing with 6.2. We also should have got 3 new dungeons, so we had 6 in total this expansion. Then we're up right now to 14 dungeons, which would be good and normal. And then it could be, that again would be a journey. When I'm doing 100, I'm going to do the 8 dungeons we got on release on Heroic. Then I'm gonna do the next 3 dungeons we got on Heroic, the 6.1 Heroic dungeons, which are slightly harder and there drops better gear. And then I'm going to, when 6.2 hit it, I'm going to do those 3 new dungeons to get that gear. And you also can use that for little stepping stones if you want to do a class switch or whatever, main switch. You can use that gear to get into the new raid as well. And it would not make your old dungeons obsolete. There was no reason for you, Blizz, to not give us new dungeons. No fucking reason. You can even say like, hey, you need to get to 30 item level to get into the 3 new heroics. And okay, I need to do the old ones. and then the new heroic, the 6.1 heroic dungeons drop item level 640, so you needed to be 640 or 645 to get into the 6.2 heroic dungeons. So you need to go all three the steps, all three of the dungeons to get there. Another journey to be taken. Bliss, it's so important, guys, that we get fresh content, new content to keep the journey going. The journey was epic to get to max level. Was for me always in vanilla and the Burning Crusade, and again on Warlords of Draenor, the journey was always one big part of the game to get to max level, and then the other big part started to get into dungeons, into the heroic dungeons, to get into the raids, and to get into fresh environments. Every time there was a patch, there was new raid and new. I mean, can you imagine if we did like Naxxramas on 4 difficulties back after Wrath of the Lich King? I think you want to shit yourself. Seriously, what the hell? So, Blizz needs to drop LFR, they need to stop having normal, heroic, and mythic difficulty in the new expansion. They need to bring in, to not have 3 raids, not have 5 raids, we need to be back at 8 raids for the new expansion. What really is important for Blizzard to do is fix the PvP. The promises they're going to make tomorrow, they need to keep their promises. If they don't, if the next expansion is not going to be a home run, WoW will drop even further down. We'll drop down to 4 million, maybe even 3.5, and it will be game over for World of Warcraft. Blizzard, people are losing hope in Blizzard in World of Warcraft. I do. I'm almost about to say that the naysayers and all the doomsayers who are saying World of Warcraft is dead are eventually going to be right. And I've always thought that would happen, but just not now. Warlords of Draenor was hugely hyped and was the worst disappointment for us as players. So, there needs to be content as well outside of raiding. So that means dungeons, it means events, it needs to be fun dailies like the Netherwing dailies in Shadowmoon Valley, which we had in the Burning Crusade, was fun. The Crusader dungeons in Wrath of the Lich King were fun and all that kind of stuff. That needs to be in. The theme needs to be really good for players. Something like the Naga expansion. The expansion people are really looking forward. No orcs, no demons. Very important. PvP needs to be fixed. And all the promises Blizzard makes need to come true this time. Because if they keep making hypes and keep making promises they cannot keep, we're in a really big problem. Am I looking forward to tomorrow? Yes, I'm really looking for the 6th. I'm really looking forward to that. At 6 o'clock, I'm gonna be watching, but I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt. I don't want to get hyped up and be disappointed again. But I really, really hope that Blizzard will hit a home run with the next expansion. Hit it out of the park. And that will bring players back, because we need it as a community. Because, let's face fact, Warlords of Draenor was shit. It needs to be fixed. And Blizzard needs to start listening to their customers. And stop listening to the guys in suits who are only thinking about profit and shit. We, the players, are the most important. Please bring back your love from the game, because we all knew that you had it in the past. Bring back that love for your own product, Blizzard. Do it for yourself, do it for us. Make us proud again, because that's what we want as players. To be proud, saying, hey, I got this awesome game I'm playing. It's called World of Warcraft. You should, and that your friends are playing like, wow, this game is huge. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Bye bye.